even that. And The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and the was it Bette Midler?
What's her name?
The broke-ass Bette Midler. Fire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears because she was being
Canada, apparently they're throwing tariffs on manatee meat and bovine semen, which means The View is very unhappy. Oh.
Tears are watching from the sidelines. What happens when Whoopi Goldberg opens her mouth and accidentally runs into a sarcastic buzzsaw named Greg Gutfeld? Anarchy, pure, hilarious, meme-worthy chaos. One moment she's lecturing the country, the next she's mentally packing for a vacation from public opinion. Spoiler, her arguments aren't the only things falling apart. This is a comedy crash you just can't ignore. Buckle up, this isn't your average talk show meltdown.
Everyone. Well, not if you're Whoopi Goldberg. AKA Karen Johnson. Yeah, who knew Whoopi was a Karen? I thought that was only for white people, like Toyota Priuses and skiing. Roll it, Francis.
Good morning and welcome to The View. You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay?
So cute when one of their side gets punished. Sulk like they ran out of raw cookie dough in the...
Goldberg is a whoop. Daytime TV's self-proclaimed philosopher queen has once again turned pointless political chatter into a performance of delusion and self-importance. Ironically, this time she was outmatched by people who weren't even on the show. Not just criticism, performance art for the confused.
She suspended Whoopi for 2 weeks because she said the Holocaust had nothing to do with race. She said this on a show called The View, which makes everything about race. But now,
the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
It's about a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
yeah, that's heroically stupid. Even for the...
Yeah, that's heroically stupid, even for The View. If that doesn't scream legacy in decline, nothing does. Just look at a typical episode, where outrage is the default setting and facts are optional. Whoopi took a cosmic L from TUS and Greg Gutfeld, without them ever setting foot at her sacred table of daytime drama. Her self-righteous rage, perched like a daily oracle of delusional grandeur, looked like someone asked her to host a bake sale, for the sake of basic civility.
The problem is that you have to go after the racist people, and be the CEO goes, you know what, I'm not going to allow a woman on my show, or man, that will go after white America and talk about them like dogs. That doesn't represent our ideals of race for anyone. And get rid of those people, and this will clear up real quick. So do you have to actually look in the mirror and clean up your own backyard and get the racist people out? Because that's who you allowed in. You allowed black racist on TV who could just go all day and say anything about white people. And I guess lo and behold, they forgot that there's a lot of people at home, white people at home during the day, that are not watching your show anymore. So just clean it.
Greg Gutfeld and TUS dropped one of their classic truth grenades. No glitter, no cackling panel, just sharp sarcasm and Gutfeld's signature deadpan mockery that hits harder than Whoopi's morning coffee. She launched into one of her usual emotional rants, this time claiming democracy is under threat by anyone who dares to disagree. Just another Tuesday in Whoopiland, while the internet moved on, far from The View's clapping seals.
The View, otherwise known as Hell's DMV, Whoopi Goldberg asked how much different are the values of the Trump administration from the Taliban?
We have a leader who has repeatedly demeaned women, wants to defund organizations that benefit women, calling on the media to shut up, specifically wants to give preferential treatment based on religion. Are these values really much different than the Taliban's?
Wow. Talk about groundbreaking to actually hear a celebrity say something mean about the Taliban. How dare they compare them to Trump? The Taliban should sue. Guess they ran out of Hitler analogies. So as they've asked the president, I'm reminded how entertainers rarely express any rage over any strand of misogynist Islamism. If they did, we might take their rage toward Trump.
Greg didn't even name Whoopi. He simply mocked pundits who mispronounce Ukraine, while demanding everyone else get educated. TUS dropped a metaphor that crushed Whoopi's credibility, like Thanos snapping his fingers at a Mensa meeting. Even though none of it happened on The View, Whoopi acted like logic itself had slapped her. She puffed, huffed, and stared into the camera like she just learned Gutfeld isn't a spice. Ego and insecurity went up in flames. Instead of debating, she slow clapped like she deserved a medal for staying on set, then defaulted to her usual act, theatrical exhaustion.
On The View, all right, talking about Latinos. Watch this, Tyrus.
Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the
That's
border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep.
So-
and they were begging people to care about it for years. We
Misogyny
need to
and
take some
sexism.
lessons.
That's what that was.
Misogyny and sexism.
Sure, all that, and the price of butter. Sonny gets the game ball. If it wasn't for her, asking that question, it might have been a closer.
That iconic eye roll is Whoopi's go-to move, pretending to be above it all while clearly rattled. Twitter lit up, YouTube comments turned into group therapy, and even Reddit joined the roast. Her camera stare practically begged to be slapped on a t-shirt, probably already on Etsy. And this isn't new. She's twisted words to defend convicted directors, blurred debate with violence, and treated free speech like it's hers to control. Classic Whoopi.
Oh no, nothing really comes to mind. I was like, Shing, listen, they're bitter, they're angry, they're entitled. They also should be, this should have been a reset for everyone who pushed lies and misinformation for the last, they call them hit, they call these things, America rejected them. And instead of coming back and saying, we lied, they instead are now doubling down. So let her keep doing it, because if she keeps that up, we're going to keep getting the Senate and probably the House and the White House, because people see right through your lies. So keep doing what you're doing. Game again.
It's like a TED Talk mixed with a Facebook rant that somehow won a daytime Emmy. Whoopi's tone: overconfident, selectively outraged, and proudly self-congratulatory. Meanwhile, TUS and Greg made sense effortlessly. Even as her takes age like milk in the Arizona sun, Whoopi doubles down. The View favors volume over accuracy. The irony? Sitting on $1 million set, sipping decaf injustice, claiming to speak for everyday Americans. And no, this wasn't a one-off. She's had plenty of meltdowns, flip-flopping, scolding the nation, and mocking moderates like it's a sport.
Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
When the facts were Gutfeld and TUS poked holes in the fiction, Whoopi's meltdown followed a familiar script: smug sneer, buzzword-packed monologue, and applause from a loyal studio crowd, all ending in collapse. It's become a ritual, as if challenging her is some form of sacrilege. She reacted with wounded pride over criticism that wasn't even aimed at her. Her vibe? How dare you, I'm in sisterhood. Classic performative victimhood. Turn every critique into a personal attack and call it bravery. But real bravery is knowing when you're in over your head, and Whoopi's out here in a kiddie pool trying to build a submarine.
Matt, in The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and was it Bette Midler? What's her name? Broke-ass Bette Midler. Fire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears.
Gutfeld delivers sharp punchlines without yelling, while TUS adds blood-sucking metaphors. Together, they calmly cut through Hollywood nonsense. They didn't attack Whoopi, just mocked celebrity disinformation. But she took it personally, breaking down on air like a hypocritical candle. It wasn't a debate, it was a drive-by. The irony? She jumped in, desperate for relevance, even though they weren't aiming at her. As usual, her co-hosts rushed in with, "You're so brave. Thanks for your voice. We love you."
Things are small, but who's the dumbest one of all? None of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sonny who mastered the art. of making idiots look smart. Now The View could ask a mirror who's the best one of all, but there's no way that glass...
It felt less like a talk show and more like group therapy for bruised egos. But viewers weren't buying it. When every disagreement is framed as an attack and every critic labeled evil, the outrage loses meaning. Just when you think the circus can't get more absurd, we dive into the hypocrisy files. People are starting to realize the show itself might be the real problem. A Hall of Fame for Whoopi's contradictions could fill a wing at the Museum of Cognitive Dissonance. Take her greatest hit, defending Mel Gibson. Yes, that Mel Gibson, mid-hate rant karaoke and all.
Makes Sonny Hostin, who thinks climate change caused the solar eclipse, the dumbest of them all. Because everyone knows the moon caused the eclipse, which is controlled by the View's gravitational pull. All right, Kat, did you ever see such a group? It's amazing how Joy and Whoopi became the smart ones.
For me, the most shocking thing about the conversation was how truly boring it was. They're like, well, the cicadas, they're cicadas. Okay, but it was like every 100 years. No, it's every 17 years. Do you know how many Emmys?
When Mel Gibson faced backlash, Whoopi defended him because he was nice to her. Now, she lectures on white privilege like a woke Dalai Lama unless her Hollywood friends are involved. She supports cancel culture until it targets her. Then suddenly, she's Glam Squad Rosa Parks. Greg Gutfeld breaks down her logic like a frog in biology class, calling The View a cult of grievance wrapped in a bathrobe of delusion. Outside Manhattan, the crowd sees through it. The response? Another shriek of right-wing hate, like a broken jukebox stuck in victim mode. Then TUS delivers the final blow, a mercy killing of bad ideas. Whoopi slumps back, unaware she was even in a fight. Of course, she'll return with another reality-detached take. Meanwhile, Greg and TUS will keep winning, because it doesn't take effort to dismantle nonsense with plain reason.